As human beings, we all have a tendency to worry about things. We get anxious about things that might go wrong, and we perceive negative consequences that may be coming our way. The less optimistic we are, the more we tend to worry. But there's a famous expression that goes, worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. So in this video, we're going to be looking at one simple exercise that you can do to stop worrying about things that are not important and that you can't influence. And the best introduction to this technique comes from British comedian Simon Amstell.
I'd received a big bill for something to do with my flat, and it was really frustrating, and it felt like an injustice. It was like this just stupid, boring bill, and there was nothing I could do about it. And I was really annoyed by it, and then I got in this minicab and started telling the cab driver about it. He said to me, well, is there anything you can do about this bill? And I said, no, there's nothing I can do. It's a real injustice. And he said, acceptance. What do you mean, whispering wise cab driver? And he explained so absurdly simply that if there's nothing you can do about something, then you do nothing. And in that moment, the feeling of injustice, the frustration, it was lifted, it was gone, there was nothing to do.
What Simon Amstell has brilliantly described here is a coaching technique called the circle of influence. So if you have some worries on your mind today, then follow through this technique as I go through it. And if you know someone else that worries way too much about things, then please do them a favour, do me a favour, share this video with them. Let's begin. Step 1. Take some post-it notes or some small pieces of paper and write down on each individual one something that's worrying you. Now these can be big things that are worrying you, like global warming, or they can be small insignificant things like doing the dishes. It doesn't matter. No matter what it is, write it down. Step 2, this is the easy one, take a piece of paper and draw a big circle in the middle. And step 3, I want you to take each one of those worries that you've written down one at a time, and I want you to make a decision. Is there anything that you can do to influence that particular situation? If there is, then I want you to place that worry inside your circle of influence. If there isn't, then it gets placed outside the circle of influence. Now, anything that's gone inside the circle of influence, you need to write down what that first action is, or maybe a list of actions that you're prepared to take. And I want you to put some dates or some times or some places where you're going to do at least that first action. Anything that's gone outside of the circle of influence, you can't influence it, so don't worry about it.
Acceptance.
And a couple of things to watch out for. Firstly, don't be too quick to write something off as being outside of your influence. If you're not sure how you can influence it, then maybe your first action is to go and learn about it. Maybe you can ask somebody who is already influencing it how they're doing it and if you can support them or if they have any ideas for you. Or you can maybe go to the internet or find a book and read and learn about what else you could be doing. The second thing is maybe sometimes you put things inside your circle of influence, but you're still a little bit daunted about taking that action. Try breaking that action down into smaller tasks. Think about the likely outcomes, best case scenario, worst case scenario, most likely scenario, and then maybe get some extra advice if you're still not sure having done that analysis. Ultimately, the goal here is to have as much things as possible inside your circle of influence. The more you feel you have control of in your life, the more productive you're going to feel and the more productive you're going to be. And that's it for this video, so go out there, be worry-free, take action, get it done, and I will see you again soon.